Hello, hello, and welcome back to the smoke room. That's what we're playing. I didn't forget. Right after I hit record. That's not me. Oh, whoops. So we're back with Samuel and friends. Right, well, just Samuel, but we're gonna tackle another day, right? Well, this is nighttime, right? I wake up and around. Yeah, okay, so it's morning, I think. It hasn't been a week since I recorded. I swear. Shut up. I wake up, rasping in the dark. My throat is parched. My tongue feels like sandpaper. I look to the side of the bed for a glass of water to soothe my parched throat. It isn't there. Ethel either forgot or didn't feel like getting it. Alright. I can't complain too much. The headache is mostly gone, and I just have to walk a few feet. There it is, waiting for me. Wait. Somebody's talking. There's a light coming from Dora's office. So I peek through, and I peek through the crack in the double door. With all due respect, ma'am. With all due respect, ma'am. It's one thing after another. Broken glasses, fainting spells, miscarriages, drunken weasels in broad daylight in the middle of the saloon. Drunks wrestling. What am I saying? Well, that's just life, Harlan. But it doesn't have to be your life. We're both not as young as we used to be. Mr. Perkins. You'll be in your 70s before you know it, and I'll soon follow. Let me finish, Mr. Perkins. Go on, then. No matter who you are, what you do, whatever you arrange an obligation, it comes with its own list of conditions. So why these conditions? Why these people and their small problems? You could sell this whole place and purchase a pub in the big city. Huh. What makes you think I want to be in the big city again? Because that's where, you're meant to be. Remember Manny, Barbara, Joe? They loved you on the stage. They wouldn't want you here, spending your golden years milling about an office. I'm still on stage, Mr. Perkins. You just can't see it anymore. What the devil does that even mean? It means I have I have more than enough eyes on me here, and it's exhausting. She looks through the doorway, making eye contact with me. I flinch, and I wait for her to yell out my name. But it doesn't happen. You know, Mr. Perkins, you seem to imply that if I were to liquidate my assets here and enjoy the rest of my life in glamour, that you'd be beside me. Why do you presume that? Because I have been all these years. East Coast to West Coast, seaside to desert, we've seen it all. We did, yes. The five of us. You kept following me out of your own volition, even after all the others were gone. Because even as you aged, you stayed beautiful. Mr. Perkins, you're the last blossom on the last cactus on this patch of oblivion. Mr. Perkins, that is enough. I want you to listen to me. I'm happy here. These women need me, and it feels good to be needed. We had a wonderful, wild adventure together. But that time has been over for years, decades now. I just miss it. Well, I don't. I'm just glad that it happened, and that was enough.
Ma'am, if I may ask, why did you have to bring this up?
Harlan, did you forget? Because you're the one who brought it up.
But I didn't.
You did. Just a few moments ago. And I think you know why.
She opens her, she opens one of her drawers and pulls out a large envelope. She plucks what looks like a small picture from it. Give that to me. He snatches it from her grasp, holding it to his chest, heaving quickly as the skin on his mouth pulls back, baring his short insertions.
This was in the hiding place of that trunk, too.
Stop it.
Stop what, Harlan? Either somebody stole a 20-year-old picture from you, or, more likely, that trunk belongs to you.
I'm sorry.
What?
Have you gone deaf? I said I'm sorry.
So, you're ready to admit it. All right. Fine. Don't be sorry, just get rid of it.
But those are my things.
That's entirely the problem. Either the trunk goes, or you do.
The hair looks like he was about to bring up something, but stopped, exhaled, and straightened his posture. It will be gone by the end of the night.
I'm giving that poor girl the brooch and the braid. Don't ever bring back anything else. Wait. Don't ever bring back anything else like it.
You don't have to worry.
I don't need to understand. Good night.
I feel like my whole body's rigid. She didn't call my name. She didn't expect me to tell... Does she expect me to not tell Cynthia? Maybe she wants me to tell Cynthia. I don't know what to do. But it doesn't matter. Because I don't move. I'm stuck in the doorway. My body's numb. Harlan crouches over the trunk and slides it against the floor. He's moving straight towards the doorway.
Call out to them.
Is somebody awake in here?
Sam.
Harlan drops the chest and it clatters to the ground. Why the hell is he here? What the hell do you think you're doing here? I just needed to get some water that Ethel left me. Bullshit.
You know, that is the truth, though. Harlan.
He turns to Dora and puts a falsetto voice. Don't you mean Mr. Perkins? He turned back to me. This man is the pissiest poor liar I've ever met in my life. Nothing I said was a lie. I came for my water, and then I heard you being loud.
There's nothing to worry about, Sam.
You're telling him there's nothing to worry about? You don't trust a word I say anymore.
Because you haven't acted trustworthy. The hare's big teeth reflect in the oil lamp.
There it is. Good night to you too, madam. You can pay me in service drinks, but don't ever expect anything more.
When the doors of the powder room closes, and we both know Harlan is finally gone, Dora takes a deep breath.
The hell was that?
A lovesick old fool who doesn't know how to take no for an answer. who apparently took a sudden interest in a certain kind of literature he used to loathe. Unless it wasn't sudden, and he was very good at hiding it this long. I need not point this out, but that man is crossing some lines. I fear something must be done soon if we can't come to a reasonable understanding.
Was Cynthia all right?
She locked herself up in her room. I'll defend her privacy. But think carefully about telling her what you saw tonight.
Why's that?
If she knows what Harlan did, and he's still here, I suspect she'll never be comfortable in this saloon again. And Harlan himself is perceptive. If anybody openly casts suspicion on him, he'll start acting worse.
Why don't you just get rid of Harlan?
If I fire him, he'll be a homeless old man far past his prime. He's an old friend, and I have a hunch that he desperately needs money. And more importantly, he's good at his trade. Not a lot of skilled mixologists in town, unless I poached that Brian's boy. Brian's boy. I still don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced. I'm sorry.
Oh, but Lord
knows his wonderful mother would never agree to that. There's always that reedy pharmacist with hot little hands, but I could never. Is she talking about Ralph? What to do?
You're not going to make me bartend, are you?
I don't think that role would be a good fit for you.
All right. Good.
Try to get some rest, Samuel. And remember to drink your water.
Yes, ma'am. I crawl into bed. My throat's still scratchy, but at least not in pain now. Mixing drinks could have been a useful skill to learn. I would have turned it down since she needs a long-term replacement, but I still wish she would have asked. Once William finishes up with whatever he was planning for this town, I'll be on my way with my train ticket. Maybe he wants to come with me. Nah. That's stupid to think. I wish it were true, though. Like most days, I wake up to a knock on my door. Yeah.
Are you decent, Sam?
She sounds different today. Tired, drained. I slept in my clothes last night, unfortunately. The door opens and she comes in.
You must feel sore.
Nah, it's nothing. You okay?
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Last night wasn't your fault. I think it was the drinking. And, well, I feel myself get hot as I brush my paw over the scar on the back of my head. I'll probably be paying for this for a good while. How are you feeling after last night?
Bad.
She crosses her arms. Well, of course she feels bad. The fuck did I ask like that? I know I'm not the best at ignoring people who frustrate me. But everybody dies, don't they? So, every time you hear somebody say something stupid or evil, just think, you're gonna be dead one day.
Listen, Sam.
In time will eat you up.
Sam.
Yeah?
I don't care about what happens to bad people. I want to enjoy my life while I have it. Life is all we got. There's nothing else.
We can't agree. We can agree to disagree.
That's not an important discussion to me right now. This brothel's a lot of things, Sam. But it ain't a cage. Last night was the first time in my life I felt like I did back at the reservation. I don't want to leave, Sam. But if there's anybody here doing what they did there, I don't think I can stay.
Where would you go?
There's always a way to get by.
If I told her about Harlan now, I think she'd leave us for sure. But it seems like like he's on his way out. Maybe I don't need to burden her with that sort of knowledge about right now. I slide my paw down my back, down my head to the back of my neck, and I rub it. But what if it's nothing?
You know it isn't.
What was that?
Samuel, don't scream like that. It's the worst.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's just... Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Well, the truth is, it sounded like me. But I know that it wasn't. I keep getting the feeling like both me and Cynthia are being watched in this room. There's a heaviness, an oppressive kind of feeling that keeps my tail for on end, but it never goes away. I feel like it's all around me, but every time I look for the cause, there's just nothing. Just me and her staring back in the mirror. I'm sorry to scare you.
We're all a little used to it.
That doesn't make me feel better. I'll be out most of the day, but I'll try to be back at night.
Shouldn't you rest today?
Can't. William needs me.
Secret stuff?
Secret stuff.
Well, he won't make any use out of you if you get sick again. Don't push yourself.
I shoo the air with my paw in her direction. I'll be fine.
Be well.
I grab a quick breakfast downstairs before I go. I rehydrate some oats with water in the kitchen, mixing in some butter and molasses. Then I chew on some jerky in between spoonfuls. Doesn't take long to empty and wash my bowl before I'm on my way out. I'm a little bit confused to see Samuel already waiting outside. He's standing against the fence of the post office, eyes listing across the newspaper. Well, howdy, Samuel. Morning. You're here earlier than I expected. And here I thought I'd be making my way towards your office by now. The coyote glances at his wristwatch. I've only been here a few hours, Sam. That's longer than I would have presumed. You weren't just here waiting for me, were you? Don't flatter yourself too much. This was more, of a two birds, one stone situation. Those birds being... Nag me some more, why don't you? Was a fair question. I was waiting for you. But I'm also on a lookout. For what? Don't want to talk about it, but you can probably guess. Well, if I guess anything, how about a sly pair of strong suits hot on your trail? William takes his eyes off the paper, looking at me, and his voice turns snappy and stern. Mobsters are Catholic. Sam. You won't find them on the street on a Sunday morning. I was joking, Sheriff. Well, I wasn't. He lowers the paper with his wrist, then reaches out for his paw, running his claws through one of my ears. They're flattened to my head as I recoil back, and William is flicking something to the ground. What the hell was that for? You had dust on your ear. Like you hadn't washed. Was bothering me. Sorry I'm a bit dingy. A lot happened last night. Like what? Nothing I'd like to talk about. A friend had a bad time. She's not clear of the forest either, so to speak. Teasing vaguely stories you're not willing to talk about in detail can get suspicious quick. Not as suspicious as pretending to read a newspaper in broad daylight while stalking out the hip, I reckon. Who's to say I'm pretending to read the paper? He puts the paper down as we start to walk down the road in town, towards the lake. I have to keep up with the boys in Burgundy. More baseball. Damn straight. I'm 3 weeks behind too, thanks to the gorilla who torched the town press. Gotta get our papers all the way from Colesville. They doing all right, these boys? Could be better, could be worse. How come you're so invested in reading about a ball game? I don't just read about it, I used to play. I let out a chuckle. You? Yeah, me. It's hard to picture. It's hard for me to picture you in knickers. You see so many of those in the locker room. You get used to it. Aren't they tight? Couldn't complain. You ever played the game yourself, Sam? That stick and pine cone we played with could hardly count as a real deal. You ever been to a baseball game? And not a professional one, no. So you've never had a hot dog then? Of course I've had a hot dog before. I meant a foot long fresh from the stands. Some of the big stadiums carry ones covered in just the right amount spicy mustard and sweet relish. Sounds messy. Nobody cares. Just eat it like a gentleman, if that's your fuss. Guess I don't have to worry about it anytime soon. William, whiskers droop. Ain't that the truth? A lot less going on than there was in the big city, huh? Oh, it's night and day, Sam. If I didn't have to intervene to so much with these people's problems, I'd be bored out of my skull. That's kind of sad, isn't it? It's almost like he's saying there's nothing here for him. I wouldn't have thought that was the case if it weren't from what he told me today.
Okay. I think that's a decent stopping place for today, so hopefully I'll see you around.